So I think almost everyone would agree that in these times there is a lot of fear. And how people choose to quote unquote help people dealing with fear varies, of course, but oftentimes falls into a couple of very common categories. So one is to say, oh, that's silly. Don't let that stuff bug you. It's not a big deal. You can do this. Just breathe. You'll be able to handle it. I have full confidence in you. What that does is bring up major shame in the person, because if it was that simple, they never would have mentioned it to you. Phobias, fears, they may not be rational, but they're real to the person. So if you have someone turning to you, please don't poo-poo it by saying that kind of thing. Now, the other way that people choose to help is to say, oh, you know what? I'll just handle that for you so you don't have to deal with it. Just let me get my hands on it. This will all be solved, and then you won't have this fear anymore. Well, speaking from my own experience, a phobia I have, when people do that with all good intentions, it doesn't help, because you are enabling them to keep avoiding the very thing that they are afraid of. Looking at my own situation and how I wish I could be supported, I'd like you to consider this. You know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of. We all have things that we're afraid of. But I don't want to do it for you, because then you'll never see that you actually can handle this. And what I'd like to do is just be there with you when you tackle this, because I know you can do it. And if you run into something that freaks you out, I'll be right there with you. I'll talk you down. You can do this, but I'm happy to help you. If you have someone that is dealing with a major phobia or a fear, please consider just offering to be there with them. In small doses, even if it's a couple minutes. Encourage them to empower themselves by seeing that they can do it. But everything is easier if there's someone willing to be there with you. It may take time out of your day. It may be more than you feel like doing. Help them see it's not as scary as they thought, and they're not as incapable of handling it as they thought.